Hello, and welcome back to the Garden of Grace devotion. My name is Pastor Katie, and I'm one of the pastors at Trinity Lutheran Church in Lilburn, Georgia. And today I have a special guest with me, Kristen Passmore. Hey, Kristen.
Hi.
Welcome to the Garden devotion. I asked Kristen to join me today to share with me some thoughts on her faith journey during her time at Trinity. Kristen has been our director of chancel choir since July 1 of 2024. And God is leading her family in a new direction. But what a blessing it has been to journey alongside Kristen and her husband Chance and their daughter Cecilia over the last year. And I wanted to hear a little bit from Kristen about her faith journey during this time too. So welcome, Kristen.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
But tell us a little bit about your faith journey during your time at Trinity and how you guys God is at work again.
Yeah. I think something that's important to kind of preface my time at Trinity and a really big part of my testimony is my daughter, Cecilia. She turns 3 years old on the 31st of this month, which is crazy. And I love telling people that her birthday was supposed to be October 15th, and she ended up being a July baby. um, so Cecilia was born very early, and because of that, has had many things, health complications. So she has special needs, and a huge part of my faith journey in general has just been kind of centered around Cecilia and just the miracles that I've witnessed through her life and her journey. And I see God at work in her every single day. And it's such a joy to be her mom. And before we came to Trinity, we lived in Tennessee for a period of time when Cecilia was born. And obviously, when she was born, we went through a very difficult time. Um, my husband and I were working at a church up near Chattanooga, and that church was very present for us. They were very supportive. They were very helpful in whatever we needed during that time, and we really leaned on them. Chance ended up having to leave his job to take care of Cecilia. I had to take an extended maternity leave. Lots of things piled up, and truly that church community lifted us up during that time and supported us. We were young and new parents and going through a lot. And yeah, so we made the decision to move back to Atlanta, which is where we're from. And we were singing at a church, but it was really far from Atlanta. It's in Northeast Georgia. And last summer, Chance and I decided, we think it's time to start looking for something new. And I remember looking, just on Indeed, church positions, choir director positions. And the listing for Trinity was like one of the only ones on the internet. And I was like, okay,
That was
cool.
it.
Yeah. So I did my research, felt like it'd be a good place to put in an application, and got a phone call from Pastor Scott. Seemed like a good fit. Did the interview, and it just felt like the place for me. Felt like I connected with everybody really well.
Yes.
And felt like it would be a good place, not just for me, but also for my family, because that was really important to me as, someone with a young child, a child with disabilities. I wanted a place where Cecilia would feel included, supported, all the things. And just even from just that first interview, I knew that was the case. So I was so excited when got offered the job. and accepted it. And during, my first couple months at Trinity, it was like the choir, the congregation, everyone just accepted my family with open arms. I remember we had like a little choir potluck, like
Yes.
a couple weeks after I started, and they were giving me presents, and we had all this food, and it was just so sweet and so kind, and just so generous, and everyone was just so grateful that we were there. And we were getting to fellowship with everyone in the choir, getting to make relationships, connections, getting to know everyone.
And cake,
Um,
Kristen, you had
yes,
homemade cake by Judith Roseboom.
Judith's cake
Same.
was amazing.
Double
Yes,
layer at least. How many
at
layers is that
least.
cake?
I want to say 3.
27, possibly.
Lots of chocolate.
So much chocolate.
Yeah. And it was just the best time. And we got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest was a great time. And then got into the season of Advent, and I really enjoyed those midweek services,
Yes.
and getting to fellowship with everyone that way during the Advent season is really special. And then Christmas was beautiful. We had really good services, and got to just make a lot of connections and continuing to get plugged in at the church, and feeling super happy and content.
Yeah.
And then come like New Year's Day, I had a back injury that just got worse and worse and worse. And by then I couldn't walk, and, I had to have emergency back surgery. And that was super out of the blue. I was not prepared. I was not expecting that at all.
It was quick.
It was quick. It was like, we got to do this now. So I ended up being out of Trinity for 6 weeks. I was out of my day job for 4 weeks. Couldn't take care of my daughter because I couldn't lift anything, and wasn't sure how we were gonna make it work. Chance works nights and weekends. I work during the day, and that's kind of how we manage Cecilia's care. And I didn't know what we were gonna do because I could not take care of her by myself. And Trinity showed my family an immense amount of support, not only through that specifically, those struggles that we were facing with the circumstances, but I got endless text messages, letters in the mail, emails, phone calls, just people checking in on me, wanting to see how we are, if we need anything. We got so many meals, gift cards, all the things, to make sure that we were taken care of during that time, and just extremely grateful. And also for the opportunity that Chance was able to step in, and lead the choir in my absence, and make connections and relationships with them. And when I came back, he was like, I don't want to quit. Like, I don't want to give it back to you. He enjoyed working with the choir so much.
Yes.
And I mean, truly, they're fantastic, and getting to work with them is such a joy. So yeah, we made it through that. It came back, and then we had Lent and Easter, which were lots of music, very beautiful, wonderful services. And then, yeah, so kind of coming into spring and getting into the summer, had zero idea that anything was going to happen. I was very content in my position at Trinity, and in the connections, and everything. And an opportunity kind of fell into Chance's lap, to interview at a church that's 10 minutes down the road from where we are currently, which is Alpharetta. So a bit of a drive from Lilburn. And he got offered the position at the church really close. And this is like a church that we're connected with, just through the work that I do at the middle school. And yeah, they offered me a position as well so that we can serve together, which has ultimately been our hope and wish and something we've prayed for, and we just weren't sure how that was going to play out or when it was going to happen. You know, we didn't anticipate it happening anytime soon, and then it did, and we just felt like God was saying, you know, it's time. And so yeah, now our next adventure is working at the same church and being in you know the same community that we live in and that my full-time job is in. And but you know, throughout that and throughout my time at Trinity, I am just really grateful for um, all of the connections, all of the relationships. And I've mentioned this to you. I've mentioned it to Pastor Scott and the choir, that what's so special to me about Trinity, and one of the reasons why I took the job in the first place, and one of the reasons why I, you know, throughout my time there have been so like it's just felt right, is the way that you guys love your community. You do so much for the people around you. Your ministry is driven in and rooted in your community. And you know, the same grace that's been given to you, you give to others. And you know, I've worked in several churches, and you know, all churches have outreach. But I think what Trinity does is really remarkable. And the other thing that's so special about it is that for every single person at the church, it comes from a place of genuine, just this is what we do as Christians. This is what we do. We you know, support our community, and we give our time, and we give our talents, and you know, anything else that we can give, we do. And yeah, I just love the way that you guys love Lilburn and the surrounding area, and pour into, and you're constantly you know, trying to spread Jesus's love to others.
That is the hope through God's grace, to live in response to this love and grace of God, and to share it with others and also receive it from others in the community.
Yeah.
You know, we can enter into a space in a serving capacity and wind up receiving, you
Yep.
know.
Absolutely.
So where do you see God in your story? Where do you see God in your story of your journey through this place, your journey before you got here, your journey through this place? Where do you see God?
Yeah, I feel like no matter where I've been, no matter what group or, you know, church community we've been placed in, wherever we've been led, you know, we've moved around a lot since we got married. And um, I feel like regardless, we've just been surrounded by people that were placed in our lives for a reason. And God is there in every place that we've been, and every circumstance that we've been through, even the really difficult ones. And you know, I feel like I had never really experienced anything in life that was difficult until I had my daughter. You know, I feel like I was very sheltered and naive in a way. You know, and a lot of people encounter things like that at different points in their lives, you know, earlier than I did. But I didn't really until she was born. And just no matter where we've been, no matter who we're with, no matter what is going on, even when it feels like the darkest day I've ever been through, I know that God is there. And it's been so evident to me in my journey that no matter what, Jesus is there. And it could feel like he's not. It could feel like
Sure.
he's far, right? But he's not. And he's even in the pain, even in the dark moments, you know, he's literally right there with you, like holding you and carrying you through it. And I feel like that's what I've learned. And even in the happy times, right? Like sometimes I struggle with thinking that, man, like, do I pray more when I need something? Do I pray more when I'm going through a hard time? Probably. But I want to always remember that I can be in that constant communication with God, even when I'm at the mountaintop, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm not going through the valley. But knowing that he's there regardless.
Yes. It reminds me of our passage from last weekend, um, from Joshua 1:9. The Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And I hear you talking about how God goes before you and within you and beside you and holds you up. Um, that theology too reminds me of the beginning of the Gospel of John, the light that shines in the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So please know how thankful we are that you have been a part of this journey at Trinity. We are different. I am different
Yeah.
because I have been blessed with journeying alongside you, and Chance, and getting to meet Cece. Know that our prayers are with you, and I so appreciate your time today. And I'm excited to continue to hear about how the Lord your God is with you wherever you go and where that is.
And I want you and everyone at Trinity to know how grateful I am for the year that I had with you all. And I will not be a stranger. I
Don't
will keep in touch. Yes.
Feel free to stalk us on the internet as well.
Oh, you know me. I am all about Facebook. So
Well, peace be with you, Kristen.
you too.
All right, take care.
Bye.